A guy brought in some armor. I don't know a lot about it, but depending on who used it and where it's from, it could be worth a lot of money. So I'm calling in some reinforcements. Alex, my arms guy. All right, well, check this out. I think it's English.
It looks beautiful, and you're right, it is English. This is what's known as a Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment officer's cuirass, which is the chest plate and the back plate, and helmet. Antique armor from the British Empire is always highly collectible. These guys, they're called the Queen's Lifeguard. Their only job is to guard the royal residences and the Queen of England. If you've ever been to Buckingham Palace, you see them during the change of the guard. So I can tell this helmet is post-1952 based on the shape of this crown at the top. Collectors would refer to that as a queen's crown because it sort of dips in. If it were a king's crown, it would come up to a point. Elizabeth came to the crown in 1953. The female monarch that preceded Elizabeth II was Victoria, and this is way too modern to be of that era.
Is it all original?
So here are my concerns with it. These have been replicated in Asia for decades because they have such a tourist appeal. I'd like to take the helmet off. Is that all right?
Absolutely. I've already checked the helmet out. It fits good.
It does. The helmet looks really good. This sort of suede liner is something that the replicators very rarely do. So this helmet absolutely looks legitimate. And then the chest plate and back plate. So this is a leather lining. It's the correct color. And that looks like a serial number for the trooper. Very faintly, it says Lieutenant, which is good because officer stuff is very rare. So yeah, I think this is absolutely authentic, very collectible and iconic.
Okay. And we explained to Chum that is not dragon scales.
Well, it's designed like dragon scales.
Boom! Another crippling blow to the ego of Rick. I mean, it's obviously not dragon scales, Rick. Dragons don't exist. You do know that, right?
What's it worth?
It's worth, I would say, about $7,500.
Very cool. Well, thanks, man.
You're welcome. Chum?
See you later.
Dragon scales.
Yeah.
So what's your best price on it?
I mean, he said 7,500. I understand you gotta pay your bills. Could you do 65?
No, because that wouldn't pay the bills. I'll give you $4,000.
$4,000's a little low. 62?
I'll tell you what, I'll just cut to the chase. I'll give you $4,500. The problem is, if I put it in an auction, there's a ton of expenses involved.
Did you come up to 6?
No.
Could you do 55?
No, $4,500. Do we have a deal?
You got a deal.
Sweet.
Meet me at the counter. This thing is really cool, Rick. I'm glad you bought it.
I'm really happy I was able to come in here and make a deal. I knew Rick had to buy the armor because Chum looked really good in the helmet.